Today in Hickory's 3rd grade social studies class, we're going to be learning about the federal government with an emphasis on local government. We're going to talk about 10 local leaders, the position holder's name, the position holder's position name, and the definition of their position. The local government obviously is here in Wilmington, and the 10 local leaders here are the mayor, the city council members, the fire department chief, the parks and rec supervisor, public works director, the city manager, the city attorney, the public librarian, the police department chief, and the planning department director. First off, our mayor is Bill Seifler. As the leader of the city, the mayor officially speaks for both the government and the community as a whole. The city council members are 5 men. Their names are Neil Anderson, Paul Lawler, Kevin O'Grady, Earl Sheridan, and Charles Rivenbark. Our city council is a common form of local government in the United States. A city council is an elected legislative body with the authority to pass municipal ordinances and budgets, make appropriations, and even set local tax rates in many cases. Next is the city manager, Sterling Chatham. Assumes full responsibility for planning, administering, directing, overseeing, and evaluating the activities and operations every day. The city attorney, William Woback. The city attorney represents the city departments, officials, and employees on matters involving city business. Attorneys in the office, however, cannot give legal advice to private citizens. The fire department chief, C.V. Buddy Martinetti. A firefighter who is head of their department is called a fire chief. They generally oversee and manage their firefighting team. The Parks and Rec supervisor, Latasha Singletary. Under direction, she develops, plans, organizes, coordinates, and supervises community and recreation programs. She provides technical staff assistance in the field of community and recreation programming. Our public librarian, Margaret Miles. Public librarians are responsible for acquiring, organizing, managing, and distributing library resources, and ensures that the library provision meets all the needs of all of its users. They are sometimes referred to as information professionals. The police department chief, Ralph Evangelos. Oversight of operations, budgeting, and officers. Production and development of department policies and regulations. Upkeep and updating of department equipment. The planning department director, Ron Satterfield. Under general policy direction from the city manager, he plans, organizes, and directs and integrates the city planning programs and services and performs related work as assigned. Public Works Director, Dave Mays. Work involves the responsibility for directing all phases of municipal public works, including storm sewers, fleet maintenance, public municipal facilities, and road maintenance. So for our activity is, we're going to do a partner activity, and we're going to have matching, and you're going to have these 3 sets of cards, and you're going to get with one partner, and you're going to turn all of them over so you can't see what they read, and you're going to have to match them up, and you're going to need the position holder's name and the position, and then the definition of the position, and every time you flip over 3 cards, you'll see if it's a match. And so like right now, if I would have flipped over these 3 cards, I'd have it right. Police Department Chief, Ralph Evangelos, oversight of operations, budgeting, and officers, etc. So I would have a match, and then my partner would flip over and see if they have a match. And that's what we're gonna do for the group practice. We're gonna do an individual partner activity. And that's going to be done after the PowerPoint, but we're going to go into the next part of our PowerPoint, the 3 branches of government in the United States. So class, does anybody know what the 3 branches of government are in the United States? Yes, you're over there. What is your answer? Yes, you're correct. We have the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. So, the legislative branch is in the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. It consists of Congress, which is the House of Representatives, and the Senate. And this is what the building looks like. Next, we have the executive. It's located in the White House in Washington, D.C. because the executive branch consists of the Vice President and the President. And lastly, the judicial, the Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C. It consists of the Supreme Court judges. So, do you know what legislative power is? What powers does the legislative branch hold? Well, they hold the power to make laws. The House has the power to initiate revenue bills, impeach federal officials, and elect the president in the case of an electoral college tie. The Senate has the sole power to confirm those of the president's appointment to require consent and to ratify treaties. Executive power. The executive branch holds the power to sign laws, veto laws, pardon people, and appoint federal judges. Judicial power. The judicial branch holds the power to decide if laws are constitutional. They can overturn rulings by other judges, and they can change a law through the process of judicial review. So from here, after I do the PowerPoint, that's when we're going to do the little matching game that I just described a few minutes ago. And for the individual practice, we're going to have a branches of the U.S. government worksheet. I'm going to give each of my students this worksheet here, and they're going to fill out what branch is at the Capitol building and what the branches consist of and what branch is at the White House and who is a part of that branch. And then what this symbol is, we'll give them what the third branch is and who is there. And I also gave my students different powers that each branch holds, and I'm going to want them to give me 2 for each branch. And then I've made myself a answer key that has the answers to the top half, and then I added all of the different powers for each branch that I gave them, and they can choose any of these. And after we go through all of this and our students turn in their individual worksheet, for the closure of this lesson plan, we're going to do the snowball activity. And the snowball activity is when each student gets out just a blank sheet of paper, and they're going to write down one thing they learned throughout this lesson, and then they're going to ball it up, and when I count to 3, they will throw it at each other, but like don't hit each other. And each student is going to pick up one, and they're going to read off to me what another student in the class has learned throughout this lesson plan. And I think that's just a great way to end the lesson, so everybody can see that somebody else might have learned something different from them. And then I'll just close up, making sure that there's no further questions. And that's what my lesson plan is going to be for the federal and local government.